My name is Sherilyn Dorsey, and I am creator and founder of You're More Than Their Mother, and I teach entrepreneurial women how to reclaim, realign, and rebalance their lives and go after their dreams. So today, I am talking about communication. And as you know, as with every broadcast, I give it to you from a two-sided perspective. I give it to you in life and in business. And today I want to talk to you about your personal or in life first. When we're talking about communication, I'm talking about the way in which you speak basically to other people. Because I believe communication is the tool that gets you from where you are to where you want to be. You have to be clear and concise and effective in how you communicate. And that goes for your communication in speaking with your spouse, or loved ones, to your children, to sisters, brothers, whomever it may be. Now, first, let me give you one of the biggest mistakes that we make when we're talking to people. We want to oftentimes tell people what it is that either A, they meant when they said something, or B, how it is that they felt or seemed to be coming across in their message. And I'm telling you right off the bat that type of communication is combative and it is confrontational. So right away, when you say to someone, you think that just because you're this, that, whenever anything starts like that, I'm telling you, it's going to jump away from the issue it is that you're trying to address into more of a posture of, who do you think you're talking to? Think about it. If someone came up to you and told you what you thought you were, or someone came up to you and told you what you had better do or what you were going to do, right away you take affront to that. Because number one, you're an adult. So no one can tell you or control your behavior. Number two, it doesn't feel good. We don't appreciate that type of communication, and usually it dictates a negative response from us. You absolutely won't get anything from me that you're asking for, seeking out, if you talk to me in that tone, or if you start off with me in that manner. So it's very important that you are clear that there is a way to approach people. We start out with the way to approach people. Think of it like this, the golden rule, right? Treat other people the way you want to be treated. And I want to pause and say shout out to Joy Diva Star. Thank you for inviting people. Please do that if it serves you. We want to simply treat other people the way that we want to be treated. And with that being said, the only thing you can tell people in communication is, if you want the best result, is how you feel. And very often, people feel vulnerable when they do that. For example, if something offends me, thank you, Sharona, yes. If something offends me, I want to say, and I'll just use my wonderful husband as an example. If he says something that offends me, how I want to approach him, or how I approach him, is saying, I heard what you said. I didn't like it. It hurt my feelings. I don't like the way that sounded coming out. Whatever the case. Well, with that, the first thing that happens is he's usually able to address how I'm feeling at the moment. It does, the emotion associated with it. It does not take away what he said, meaning he may still want me to do whatever it is, right? But at least he can hear what I'm saying and adjust his tone, and usually his words or the words that he used in order to communicate with me. That way, he's more likely to get the result it is that he's looking for. Now, with that being said, and if that's how you feel with that, or that's how we communicate with a spouse, I want to encourage you to do that with your children as well. So often, we have a slight bit of disregard for children, and I don't want to. That's really the best way I can put it. Let me just be honest and blunt. I always tell people at this age in my life, I want to be as direct as possible so that you can get the message in what I'm saying. Think about communicating in that way to your children, because what you're teaching them is that this is the way that they yield or get the same type of results out of other people. But you can't tell them one thing and do something else. We teach by the clarity of our examples, right? So we don't want to disregard our children and just talk to them in any kind of way because they're supposed to do it because they're our children. We want to make sure that we're speaking to them with love, respect, and in a way that creates a space for reciprocal communication, right? So when something happens, let's say with one of my wonderful children, right? And when something happens with them, and if they are saying things like, let's just say I think that they're getting smart with me, right? I'm sure you all are familiar with somebody saying smart mouth. If you are, please let me know. Give me a heart, say yes, tell me so I can make sure we're speaking the same language. Well, I grew up understanding what smart mouth was, and I didn't want a quick response or anything like that. Okay, good. Oh, yes, you know what it is, right? Well, if I feel like, for example, my children are being what I would call smart mouth with me, one of the first things I do is say, wait a minute. It feels like to me you're getting smart with me. And very often with children, what I have found is that many times they're not getting smart. They just don't know. So sometimes their questions, their response may irritate you, and you may even kind of fall back on the old paradigm of what you feel like getting smart is. And we're treating them based upon something that we're used to in the past. We're really not giving them an opportunity to inquire or be inquisitive about what it is that they're saying. So opposed to jumping on them right away, let them know how that feels to you. And usually they'll adjust how it is that they're saying what it is that they want from you, whatever information that may be. Does that make sense? Are we on one accord with that? Let me know if it doesn't. No matter if you're watching this live or the replay, just chime in with your questions or how you feel about that, and we can kind of expound accordingly on that. The other way I want to look at this communication piece is in business. In business, now, you all know I always give you my examples because I truly believe that if it's happening to me or if I'm going through it, there are other people going through some of the same type things. One thing I want you to know in business, when you communicate with your clients or inquirers of your business, whatever that may look like, thank you for all of the hearts. Whatever that looks like is, number one, it is established at this point, if someone is calling or coming to you for your business, there is a sense of you being the subject matter expert, meaning you have some information behind what it is that they're looking for, and they're looking to you for those answers. Number one, in communication, do not overtalk yourself, okay? Now, when I say that, I mean, don't try and, what's the best way I can put it here to make sure that I'm clear? Don't, for example, let's use me. What I used to be guilty of is if someone called me, for example, for a discovery call, just to explore to see if my services match what it is that they needed. I used to try to sell my service right then, right there over the phone. I wanted to coach them right then. They weren't calling to be coached. They were calling to see if my services were in congruence with their need. I was talking too much. I was not clear. I was not targeted on the question, on the information that I needed in order to give them the succinct and precise answer that they were looking for. You absolutely want to make sure that you are conveying who it is that you are. But you don't want to overtalk yourself because then you start to almost look desperate. You lose your posture as the subject matter expert, and it really reduces that person's perception of you, right? Does that make sense? Is anybody here understanding what I'm saying or getting along? I'm sorry, or coming along with me on this? Good. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, so with that, you want to make sure that your communication is concise. Find out what other people want from you and answer that. The reason that I've learned that we communicate in this way, when I was giving you those examples personally, and we communicate in this way professionally, is I found that very often there's something going on with us, and we feel the need to, I don't know, this is kind of a country word, so stick with me, gussy ourselves up to... I haven't used that in so long. Heard that from my grandmother. We have this need to gussy ourselves up to really sell ourselves on the idea of who it is that we are. But when you are confident in yourself, when you are firm in your belief and you know your self-worth, that allows you the flexibility to speak or to communicate with ease. It allows you to speak and communicate with a certain amount of not determination, but a certain amount of confidence. And that conveys not only to your family members or to your loved ones, but it conveys to your potential clients. And that is what people are attracted to. That is what people want to be attached themselves to. That is why our loved ones are attached to us or are fond of us, because they understand that this level of confidence that we have in us, it comes out in the way that we communicate, because what we have for ourselves, we want for the other person, especially our loved ones, right? And if we are in a heart-centered business, for example, like what I believe that I'm in, mentoring, then that is what I want for my clients. So I first have to have that for myself, and then I speak with that when I open my mouth. And not only do you hear those words, but that energy transfers over and there's a resonance there. Okay? So I hope that information made sense to you. Please shoot me over any questions or anything like that, and tell me, what areas of communication could you improve in? Has this been helpful to you? Thumbs up. Does it need more content? Let me know how you feel about it, and I want to adjust accordingly. Okay? Well, I am going to get out of here. I hope that helped you in some kind of way wherever you are right now. Please do make sure you tune in every Monday on Periscope live at 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Every weekday, Monday through Friday. Okay? In the meantime, it's time to move beyond everyone else's expectations of who you ought to be and become the woman you thought you could be. Thanks so much.